All right, I'm in the movie theater parking lot. Happy Friday. I just got out of seeing The Dead of Winter, and I thought it was pretty good. This is the type of movie I like to see in theaters, just a straightforward thriller. For a lot of people, I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think this is going to be one of those films that everyone needs to like rush out and go see. Some people might be a little underwhelmed by this, but for the thriller audience, I think this is a good one. The film stars Emma Thompson, and she was very good in the movie, but in my opinion, the standout role was Judy Greer. I love Judy Greer, and seeing her be a villain is really fun in this movie. Judy Greer is really good at playing like the sweetest person on earth and also the worst person on earth. She can really live in both worlds. I also have to say there's some slight comedy to this movie that surprised me. It does have a little bit of levity, but it's very, very sparing in that department. The movie does have its slower moments where it kind of like stops and takes a breath, and that stuff honestly kind of bored me. Like when those tense sequences started getting going, I really wanted them to just keep going. I know that's not necessarily realistic for a feature film. You have to have moments where it breathes. And some people might like the slower moments because it gives you a second to catch your breath, like I said. But for me, this movie was best when I was on the edge of my seat. Of course, maybe it wouldn't be as effective if it was just nonstop. But I think this film builds in tension as well, which is good. I think the finale truly feels like a finale. It's definitely the most tense sequence of the film. I was definitely, biting my nails, metaphorically speaking. There's a couple other supporting characters that do their job, but they don't really stand out quite like the lead and Judy Greer do. There's also some moments of bad people getting their comeuppance, and it's pretty satisfying. There's also some pretty bleak moments. This movie does have a lot of flashbacks, which I think is kind of a negative. I understand they're giving backstory and exposition with those flashbacks, but I just think that's kind of a tired trope. The winter atmosphere is really, really good in this movie, though. The film is beautifully shot, and the film has that cold feeling, It captures the feeling of freezing and stuff, which was impressive. And I think important for a movie like this, where the cold is one of the things that might kill you. I think this film had the perfect runtime. If anything, maybe there was a couple of pointless things that could have been cut. I was glad to see that this film didn't overstay its welcome, because it really doesn't need to. The film also gets kind of twisted. I'm not sure how much the trailer gives away in terms of the plot, but I was surprised as things started to unfold. I was like, oh wow, we're going here. Okay, I'm on board. I know this was the Regal Mystery movie, so a lot of people have probably already seen this earlier in the week. And of course, they were playing it last night too for Thursday night previews. So you might have already seen the movie. But depending on the type of films you like, I think this is definitely one you want to consider going out to see. I think films like this, when you're watching them at home, you can get distracted or like the slower moments, you might kind of stop paying attention. And I think it's good to be in a movie theater. In the theater, there's just no distractions. And I think a movie like this benefits from not having any distractions. It's far from the best thriller I've ever seen. I would even say it's not even the best winter thriller I've ever seen, but it's really well made, really well acted. Pretty interesting script. Personally, I think the most entertaining part of the movie was probably Judy Greer just cussing and getting angry, even being murderous. There's a little bit of relationship metaphor and they play with that a little bit, which was kind of interesting. It didn't feel fully thought out and completed, but there were a few moments where it feels like it's kind of comparing Emma Thompson's character to Judy Greer's character in terms of their love for their husband. There was also another kind of subplot that gets revealed later in the movie that I thought was interesting. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about this one. It's a really straightforward movie. Honestly, this feels like the type of movie that would have came out in the 1990s, and I mean that as a compliment. Sometimes less is more, especially with these thriller films. So yeah, just a quick review. Just want to pop on here, tell you guys it's worth the watch. Just keep your expectations in the right place. You'll probably have a good time. So out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it 3.5. Because, that's how Letterboxd does it, 5 stars. So yeah, I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5. I know some people only like to go to the theaters for really, really good stuff. I go see everything at the theater, so I was happy to go see it. But yeah, keep that in mind. If you're going to see this, maybe you'll be underwhelmed, or maybe you'll be grossed out and terrified. I don't know. Depends on what kind of movies you like. But hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.